All right. Welcome back, everyone. What I'm going to be sharing today is basically my roadmap for my AI automation agency. I'm not exactly sure I'm going to be doing or starting an agency as such, but that's what people are terming it. So, I'm going to roll with that term. All right, let's move on to the high level roadmap that I'm planning to do. So this is going to give you like a very quick summary of this what this video is going to be about. So the first thing, obviously the most important thing is learning. So I have to learn how to do these automations and stuff, and also like do the sales stuff as well, because that's one of the part where not a lot of people emphasize a lot, because that's what's going to actually help you put your foot in the door and help you sell all the amazing things that you're going to do, be creating. Secondly, sharing my entire journey on YouTube. So whatever new automations I do, whatever client acquisition strategies I try, entire journey, I'll try to document it here, and potentially LinkedIn in the future as well. But for now, I'm just in YouTube. Third would be providing free value, and that is basically I'll try to find 3 to 6 people, maybe even more, and see if what problems they're facing and if I can solve them by any automations or using any kind of AI workflows, and just concentrate on providing value at this stage. The last stage in my roadmap is earning that $1 or pound where I'm from, and getting my first paying client. So, if we dive a bit deeper into the stages of my roadmap, the first one, which is learning, you can see I've divided into two sections. One is the tech part and one is the sales part. So, the tech part is, I've divided broadly into three categories, but obviously it's going to be much more. But I think these are the three categories which are going to be a big chunk of what I'm going to be concentrating, at least on my initial days. And the first one is obviously an AI automation tool, which is something like make.com, na10, Zapier. um, for now, just to give you an update, like right now I think I'm a basic to intermediary user for make.com. Na10 I haven't played around with too much. Zapier I just know a few bits, but I think make.com is probably a good sweet spot for me right now. So that's what I'm going to be concentrating on. And then you have the CRM, which is a customer relationship management tool. So you could be using Airtable, which has been pretty famous nowadays. It can also act as your database. GHL or Go High Level, which is I think gaining really a lot of users in the recent times. HubSpot and Notion. So Notion isn't exactly a CRM system, but I think it's an all-in-one system. I think you can create your own CRM there, especially for people who has a limit in their budget and they're already using Notion. Why not just customize that for a CRM and use that in your automation workflow? That's what I'm planning, anyways. Um, and then you have your web scraping. So if you're trying to scrape the internet for any leads to help with your sales and marketing stuff, I think this is like really important. And this is something which I'm just recently learning, using tools like Phantom Buster, Appify. I'm sure there are more. And this is not an exhaustive list by any chance. So but I think these are some of the stuff that I'm going to be majorly concentrating on in the near future. So that's what I've listed them out, and as and when I try to learn more tools, obviously I'll be sharing them in the channel. The second part is sales. So like I mentioned earlier, I don't think many people mention when they're giving the lessons on how to do AI automations, and you can sell that for $10,000 or sell that for $20,000 per month. I think the most important part is sales, to be fair. Obviously you need to know how to create the automations, but the sales is like the differentiating factor after a point. So, and I'm not too good with sales, to be fair. I'm not. uh so I'm trying to understand what's the best way to go about it. And this is just a brief overview of what I'm currently planning. This can change in the upcoming days, but a few books like $100 million leads, $100 million offers, and how to basically how to generate leads. First you find the people who you want to sell, who's your target uh, market, and what niche are you targeting. Niche, considering niche, that's a topic for another day, but you know who are you trying to market, and how do you actually offer your services. um, how do you price them? How do you make an offer so good that no one can say no? So I did try to read the $100 million offers book. I think I've read a few pages, 20, 30 pages. So I'm at least trying to read some books, then maybe see some online resources and see what helps. So I'll probably be doing a more in-depth video on the sales part as and when I try to do it. I think the best way to understand is just try and get yourself thrown into the deep end and just see what works. How to do outreach. So cold emails. A lot of people hate cold emails, and I've got to try to find a way where I can make it attractive for potential clients. So that's going to be a tough one. And some of the other stuff you have to learn is, which is not exactly sales, but kind of other miscellaneous stuff, which is onboarding clients. How do you draft up a contract? How do you set up a retainer, recurring services, etc. So I think those are pretty important as well. Um, and after the learning part, or actually what my plan is to share my journey with the learning as well, so it's going to be simultaneously. I'm going to be doing these two stages. So why do I want to share my journey? Maybe some of these video will be providing value to a few people in the internet. Who knows? And it will definitely make me accountable. um, I'm hoping I can get these YouTube videos done and published every week. Um, and I hope that kind of kicks in the inertia for me to kind of work on my business a bit more, because I'm like, oh, I have to create some stuff, I have to do some progress so that I can share in my channel. So that's my thinking. Don't know if it'll work, but worth a try. And increasing my reach to people who would benefit from my services. So uh, I also believe, like, if I keep on creating some kind of automations, and I try to help not only people in my close vicinity, and but I also try and share those things which has worked for people or would have worked for people, and maybe someone in the YouTube audience would also like a similar solution for their business or their personal projects. And what will I share? Any AI automation systems that I'm working on, any templates, walking through what's the benefit of it, how does it actually work, any uh, you know tutorials on creating those templates, and my full journey on getting my first paying client and beyond. So hoping I can get that, to be fair, but it's gonna be interesting journey for sure. And any successes, a lot of failure, I'm assuming, but what they say, build fast, fail fast, and just keep on iterating yourself and improving yourself. So that's the sharing part of my journey. And then we have providing value for free. So reaching out to any warm contacts, friends, family, peers, anyone who's maybe do starting their business, or has their own small businesses, and you can try to understand the pain points, not only in their current professional life, but maybe even in their personal lives, where they're trying to do any personal projects or something, and see if there's any problems that you can solve. Just my plan is not to just go and be like, hey, use this automation. I think the first thing is try to understand the pain points of your friends, families, peers, and see what you can do to solve those problems, and provide any AI automation systems. to solve their problem. I think the major thing where you can help is, the two big things is like saving money and saving time. Those are like the two biggest things that I've normally seen people struggle with, in their businesses and professions. And do this at least for 3 to 6 people or businesses, um, whoever is in your warm contact. um, and just and if you're able to help them, I'll or if I'm able to help them, I'll be trying to get the testimonials, and maybe just update those testimonials in my website. So if you can see that Build Rapid logo, that's like the company that I'm trying to form for my AI automation agency. um, I'll probably go through my website and everything, in some later videos, but just wanted to point that out. And the last step, and the most important one, or probably one of the important ones, is getting that dollar as soon as possible. Now, I just don't literally mean, okay, selling anything for $1, but just getting that first paying client. I think that's going to be a massive game changer in my journey, because right now, I've got to be honest, I'm not too sure if this is going to be working or not. And there are some doubts, because you see all those YouTube videos of people making money in so many different ways. And maybe you have tried out certain different things, but it just hasn't you know stuck with. So as soon as I get that first paying client, I think that's going to be a huge game changer for me. So the plan is first to get some initial, obviously the getting the initial free clients. And I think those initial free clients can also convert to your paying clients, because they can firstly come back for more requests. If you have like actually helped solve a lot of their problems, they can maybe spread good things about your work through word of mouth. And you might get some referrals. uh, So the other option is, cold outreach, like I mentioned, find leads online, LinkedIn, Instagram, and maybe offline as well. Maybe just go to your local shops nearby and see if I can digitize their business, and apply to jobs on Upwork. So this is going to be a separate video on itself. I actually tried to apply to jobs on Upwork, which is nowhere near enough, I know. But I think that is not a easy task to get your first job on Upwork, because you have to get reviews and all that before you can even, if you're even in that playground for the jobs. But that's a separate video again. And lastly, it's AI automation sales system. So creating my own AI automated sales system to get leads and contact them. So, why not? I'm trying to create automations to help businesses. So obviously, I can try to create something which is going to benefit me. And if it benefits me, I'm sure it's going to be benefiting someone else as well. So that can be repurposed to help other potential clients. So that is actually one of the things which I'm most interested in, to be fair. And yeah, that's it. That's all for now. So most important thing that I have to try to remember in this journey is I try to have fun, because this is, at least till now, it's pretty interesting creating these automations. And hopefully try to give some value to people and not give up, at least not too easily. All right, that's all for now. I'll see you all in the next one.